Hey guys, welcome back to Redemption Journey. I'm Jen and it is Sunday. I can officially say we made it through a work week and do a little celebration because, I'm working now. But it is Sunday, which means that I have something fun for you this week. I decided not to talk about finances. Aren't you glad? Stay tuned. I do not know about you, but one of my favorite things to do is get a peek into just people's phones. Like, I love to see what is in their phones. Somebody's phone tells you about them, like what they do, what they listen to, what they watch, who they text. Today, I'm not going to give you any of those details. I'm just going to share with you my podcasts. I love podcasts. I almost like it more than a video. Like I said, I don't know if you watched my very first video after my big hiatus, but I shared with you guys that I've been thinking about creating a podcast. And the more that I listen to podcasts, the more I am so ready to make one. But anyway, today I really want to share with you the podcast that I listen to. And I listen to a very wide variety, but I think all of the variety is in the nonfiction realm. So I don't like the murder mystery ones. I know that they are some people love them. I really like to listen to self-growth, personal stories. I love hearing people's journeys. So let me just jump right in and share with you what I listen to. Platform of my choice is Google Podcasts. I had Stitcher for a really long time and it just became kind of ugly. I don't know. I am one to have an interface that's pretty. I have a Samsung, so Android-based phone. I love Google Podcasts. They came out with this a newer version. It used to be in Google Play, but it's not, and you're probably tired of listening to this by now, so let's just get right into it. My very first podcast, Rise Together, which is Rachel and Dave Hollis. So I don't actually listen to Rachel Hollis, the one where she interviews people. I really like the Rise Together, which basically is her and her husband, Rachel Hollis, Dave Hollis, talking about marriage. And what I love about that one is that they're pretty brave and they talk about things that normal couples usually are embarrassed to talk about, but they give you good advice. So if you haven't listened to them, I would really recommend starting out, let me find it, it was September 6th and August 30th, and it was 5 ways to show up for your partner. From Dave's point of view, and then 5 ways to show up for your partner from Rachel's point of view. And I took notes. I actually listened to Dave's first, which I know might be a little bit ironic, but for me, for a man, the way that they think, I wanted to hear that. So I listened to them, and I have enjoyed every single podcast that they have put out on this show, if you will. The next one that I listen to is the Crystal Payne show. She tries to keep them very short, which she has been successful at. She does this really cool mash of interview / her life / helpful tips and tricks. It's been a great one. I don't know that I've had a favorite. I can't tell you where to start. There's only about 8 episodes, so I would suggest that you start from the beginning. That's what I would do. But I like everything that she has done so far. I do like interviews. So it's just her selection of interviews have been a little bit more towards my style and my life. The next podcast that I like is actually pretty unique. It's called the Bible Binge, and basically these episodes can be really long though. So this is like the little warning. If you have a lot of time, listen to this one. I listen to the Bible Binge usually on my way to Monday nights when I go to church. I'm a part of a committee that meets on Monday nights at our church, and so I will listen to that on the way to and the way home from, which is about an hour-ish. So the thing about the Bible Binge is it's more of a talk show about the Bible. There are 2 hosts, and they kind of pick apart certain Bible stories, but they like bring references in that make you like, oh my gosh, why would I've never thought of that? So it's a little bit pop culture. You probably aren't going to get a lot of theology from this. So don't listen to it with the hopes of like learning a lot. It's just fun. And I think that the Bible is 100% serious, but the more that you can connect to it personally, the more useful it's going to be for you. So, and they've never said anything through the ones that I've listened to so far that is disrespectful to the Bible. So I believe they're believers. I don't know 100% for sure, but I just love the way that they go. So have you listened to the Bible Binge? If so, leave me a comment about what you thought. The next one I talked about a few weeks ago, it's Chip Ingram's Living on the Edge. Like if you want theology, this would be a great one. If you want application on how to apply the Bible to your life, this one is going to be it. Chip Ingram, they're usually 20, 25 minutes. So it's perfect for a walk or just a quick commute. Then the next one I have is Focus on the Family Marriage Podcast. Love this one. They are usually super short, like 15 minutes, not even. Most of them are about 8 to 10 minutes. So the thing they do there though is they do break it down. They break the episodes down, I think, into a lot of parts. So I will go for days without listening, and then I'll go back and like binge on like 4 or 5 of them so I can get a whole series out. Okay, so full confession, the next one I haven't actually listened to. It's like one of those that I have in my podcast with hopes to listen to it, but I have not yet. It's Detail Therapy with Amy Lando. She is just a YouTuber who created this podcast just very recently. I think it was just in September or October. And I like her videos on YouTube, so I thought I would enjoy her podcast. The thing, they're really long, and I am not one to listen to a longer podcast. I want just simple 25 minutes and under podcast. The Bible Binge is entertaining, so while it is a little bit longer, it's more entertaining. So I haven't listened to any of the Detail Therapy. If you have, let me know what you think about it as well. The next one is one of my newest favorites, actually, and this is Nutrition Redefined with Stephanie Webb. And if you're looking for just like one of the most encouraging and down-to-earth health and nutrition podcasts, go listen to this and start from the beginning. She has a lot more episodes, but I think the first 5 or 6 are like her cornerstones to her health philosophy. And I nodded my head and was like, yes, preach on, sister, to this one so much, because it's just encouraging to hear somebody who isn't so restrictive, and somebody who isn't so green, and somebody who isn't just, she's very well balanced in her eating, it sounds, and that encourages me. So I listen to this one a lot now when I'm exercising, trying to get my movement in for the day, because she talks a lot about exercise and just not even body positivity, because that's kind of like one of those cliche words now, but just how to be a positive person in general, and how to love that skin that you're in. So I have really been enjoying this one. The next couple are ones that I'm trying out, and this is kind of how I find the podcasts that I like. So tip from Jen, I will Google top podcasts in a certain genre, and then I will download maybe 5 or 6, 7 of them that I think kind of like, I'll read the summaries, download a couple that sound like they're going to appeal to me, and then I'll listen to them. So like next week coming up, I have a ton of education podcasts that I'm going to be listening to, because I'm back in that field, and it has been a few years since I've actually been in that arena where I just didn't have a child in school. So I wanted to just hear some of the podcasts that are available for especially primary education. And I found this one that I'm actually really intrigued to listen to. It's called, how I found it, let me put it this way, was Googling the host, and her name is Jennifer Hatfield, and it's Study Skills for Students. And this one is really interesting because I think you can benefit a lot if you're a teacher, but if you're a parent, let me just read you the last couple topics that she's talked about. The number one paper management tool, 5 tips to help overwhelm students, study skills, how to improve your students' task completion, and then tiny little habits for students to achieve big goals. And I think that this would be awesome if you're a parent. If you're a parent and your child is struggling, this podcast would be great to listen to. I'm really excited to get into this one. Her episodes doesn't look like they're any more than 20 minutes, which again is a win for Jen. These next couple of podcasts are ones that I am testing out. One is Talk with Teachers. The next is Teachers Lounge. The third is the Chock Full of Life podcast. The fourth is the Google Teacher Tribe podcast. And basically this is for information, really quick tutorials, answering questions for anyone that uses Google Classroom. And I can always get better with things in Google and understand Google Classroom a little bit better. I don't personally use it yet where I am working, but my son uses it, and I know that my younger son will go into using it. And then the next 4 are, again, areas in which I'm learning, trying to find podcasts that I would like to listen to. Basically, motivation for just women in general. The first one is Mentoring Moments. This one sounds interesting. The premises for this is finding women to kind of give you advice, mentoring advice, but it's in podcast form. They have interviewed, the one that I found was Marie Forleo and Jillian Michaels, and just interesting women that kind of give you the lowdown. And if they were going to mentor someone, what would they tell them? So this sounds interesting to me. Longer episodes again, so that might be a weekend every now and then, but definitely a longer podcast. Okay, are you ready for this one? I forgot I even had this. Okay, I listened to Webster's Word of the Day. Guys, there's something about building your vocabulary, never letting it die. It's 2 minutes, sometimes less, but usually about 2. And what they do is they tell you the word, they give you the definition, they use it in a sentence, they spell it for you, they give you what part, like if it's a noun, a verb, part of speech, I guess. And I just love it. I think that would be something really fun to do with your kids as well. Then the Life Coach School podcast, that is by Brooke Costello. I haven't listened to any of those yet, but the very first podcast, which released yesterday, it was called Emotional Vocabulary. I'm like, you can't speak to me, to my heart anymore. If I'm always learning new things, I think that would be great things. Another title of her podcast is Neurotransmitters. Something you may not know about me is that I am a little bit of a psychology nerd. I love psychology. I don't know that I believe everything that the psychologists throw out there, but I think our brain works in a certain way, and the study of that is amazing to me. And then how your brain works and how that overflows into your life is just, it's glorious. And God designed it in this way. So the more that you can learn, the more that I think you're going to be a better version of yourself. That one sounds really interesting. I don't know that I would listen to every single one of those, but I think that you could definitely pick something and listen to it and become a little bit more educated. And then the last one I found, this one sounds so fun. It's called Journey Women. And let me read you the summary. It's life's a journey where we're never meant to walk alone. We all need friends along the way. On the Journey Women podcast, we'll chat with Christian leaders about gracefully navigating the seasons and challenges we face on our journeys to glorify God. Oh my gosh, I was like, yes, I would love to listen to that. That just sounds like the best little blurb. it looks like the host on that, if you want to search, is Hunter Beless or Bellis. It's Beless, and it's Journey Women. So that does it, guys. So this was a little bit longer of a video, guys. I'm really sorry about that, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and I want to hear, tell me your favorite podcast, your favorite genre of podcasts. Literally, tell me anything about podcasts that you love. Tell me if you don't like podcasts. I would like to hear people that don't like podcasts, why they don't like podcasts. I'll probably be back in for like another fun little video and just share with you the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to. I don't watch as many as I used to because like I was like getting rid of all the garbage from my life, but I do watch a couple and I want to share those with you as well. So if you're excited about any of that or about today's video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you all next Sunday.